welcome back to another TERA Plays TERA video. Today's video we are going to go over TERA Console's 130.02 build update a second time. So we were meant to get this update last week, but due to an issue on PlayStation Network side of things, the update was postponed to this week. Now, if you want to read and hear everything I talked about the original update, go ahead, check out my video from last week. It covers everything and the patch notes on screen. This time I'm going to be traveling through a random area of Arboria that you'll be seeing now with Mifba on my console. And yeah, please let me know if you enjoy that as I talk about the update, or if you would rather see actual dungeon fights going on. Maybe we want to mix. Let me know in the comment section below if you just want to see an area of Arboria or see fighting, because I understand just plain text is boring and no one wants that, and I got better capabilities now of improving this content. So we'll go over shortly what I talked about last week just to keep it nice, short, and sweet. Basically, Curse AA Last Stand is getting additional 150 Vanguard points. Curse AA Last Stand will be dropping rune stat change stones that you get as a team, or a tradable drop that gives 5 to 20. Gilly Glade's getting a few adjustments in drops as well as additional drops. Gross support stuff will finally be dismantleable. Only the powders, not the stuff you get from AA, just the powder. The 30-day and the entire season stuff, we could dismantle them, as long with basic instant reset scrolls can be dismantlable. Again, we're getting some class changes. Those are just simple little things, such as the mystic buffs, and then priest and mystic, are not going to be sharing their buffs anymore. So if you were running with a priest and a mystic, do remember that mystic buffs are going to override priest, and same thing as priest and mystic. That has always been a thing in the game, but it was more, edict being overridden, not the baby buffs like Shakan and energy stars, and was it Thrall of Vengeance and the new Thrall Lord buff. So all of that is going to be overridden now if you're running with double. Mystic, you are getting that increase to the Thrall of Vengeance power, as well as the increase to the Thrall Lord's power, and the Thrall Lord's cooldown is dropping from 600 to 150, so that is wonderful. Priest, Kaya's will finally not be a lock-on anymore. We've been needing this. I was excited for last week. I am excited for this week for it to finally come out. Warriors, yeah, you know my stance on war tanks anymore. I like Blade Draw, it's just not going to give you as much cooldown, whatever. And then there are obviously bug fixes that were meant to happen. You can go read those. We're not going to cover those because now we're going to cover the additional updates. This is going to be linked as well. Both of them will be linked in the description below. If you want to read the new updates, we're going to go over them right now. In dungeons, the Reaper's subtle effect will no longer be removed from just overall damage. I believe what this means is Reapers, your shrouded will not go away if you get hit. So no more worry about, getting hit and losing shroud. If I'm reading that correctly, I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's what that is referring to. Archers, your cross arrows for fine weakness are going to be bigger. They were meant to increase the size before. I believe it did get increased. I personally felt like it was increased, but now it's going to be increased even more so that you'll have a bigger cross arrow. They are fixing an issue with the Ice Throne event design that only one could be learned. So this is in crafting, where you do the melted heart, you could only learn the basic melted heart or in singular. Now we'll be able to learn all 3 melted hearts, so you can craft the others if you get them. They are also fixing the silence issue in Ice Throne. I believe this is the submerged mech. When the boss goes into the ground, pops up, pushes all the players out to the outside. You gotta run into the boss's big cage and do Dance Dance Revolution, Cardinal in out, or out in type of shit. I think that was lasting too long, and there was also a bug where the boss would just cancel the mech but still silence everyone. I think that's gonna help fix that issue as well, to where now that silence is timed correctly and not timed for some part of the mech to end. So that's a change. And then there is a buff type of skills for all classes will now be removed when changing equipment, and all pet transcendence effects will now be removed when changing equipment and will no longer refresh. So I believe what this means is that basically if you have a priest buff you and you change pets, you're gonna lose your priest buffs, you're gonna lose all of those buffs. If you change from annihilation to growth gear, then you're gonna lose the buffs. The healer's gonna have to rebuff you. I'm not sure what other buffs are going to be required under this. As far as the pet transcendence effect, I believe what that means is, and what was going on is players were popping like Iron Mace 3, desummoning the pet and summoning possibly Iron Mace 2, and it was reprocking either 3 when it was meant to only reproc 2. But it shouldn't reproc anything, it should just be whatever that pet has out. So I'm not exactly sure how this is all working. I don't know exactly what it means fully. We'll see in the game. But basically, they don't want you to be pet swapping. The point's not to have like 3 pets with different Iron Mace. And no, you're meant to have you're meant to really only have 1 pet out at a time. And you're not really meant to be swapping between pets and keeping the better buff. So that should be resolved with this, as well as, let's say a healer has a pet with 40 power but not corrosion 3. If that healer puts that 120, there's math. If they put that 120 pet out and buff you, and then desummon that pet and summon a corrosion 3 pet, then again your buff should, for the whole team, I would think, be gone. I believe that's also what this is referring to. Again, I'm not too sure because the notes literally just say all pet transcendence effects will now be removed when changing equipment and will no longer refresh. So I'm assuming anyone in the team, whoever changes pet, that player is going to lose their buffs. And I'm not sure how that's going to affect everyone as far as the teams, but I know the devs have known for a while that you could have multiple pets and be swapping pets still throughout the run and getting additional buffs to do more damage. Again, I don't know how many people are going that crazy making sure they have Iron Mace 3, 2, 1. I know when pets were first released, that was a big thing, was pet swapping and getting multiple corrosions on the boss, multiple Iron Maces, but yeah, that was resolved originally when you would have to wait like 10 seconds, then they dropped it to the 6 seconds that it is now, and I believe this is meant to resolve it, that you really should only be having the 1 pet out, not be pet swapping during the fight too much, or at all, ideally. But that is the changes. Again, if you want to read anything specific, feel free to. These new, additional fixes they added are not on any separate patch note page, actually. They are on the TERA Console server maintenance March 18th page. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm definitely excited to see what dismantling growth gear gets. I will probably make a separate video either later, that'll probably come out later this week because we have quite a few videos actually locked and loaded to come out. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more TERA content and you're not subscribed, please please consider subscribing and hit the bell. I don't normally mention the bell. The bell's important. If you don't hit the bell, you're not going to get the notifications. If you don't want to be pinged and bothered, then don't hit the bell. Fine, whatever. But yes, please subscribe, and that's about it. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day and or night. And as always, I hope to see you in Aboria, gamers.